Let's be honest for a second. As kids, learning felt natural. You picked up a video game, you learned it. You heard a new song, you memorized it, you messed up, laughed, and tried again. But now, you try to learn something new as an adult, and suddenly it feels like climbing Mount Everest with no oxygen. So why is it so hard? It's not because you're dumb. It's not because you've lost it. It's because the way adults approach learning is broken. Let's unpack this. 1. The fear of looking stupid. When you were a kid, you didn't care if you sucked at something. You just did it. But as an adult, your ego gets in the way. You start learning a new skill, and the first time you struggle, your brain screams, "Stop!" You're embarrassing yourself. At work, you don't want to ask questions because you don't want to look incompetent. You compare yourself to others who are already ahead and feel like you're behind. The truth? That fear is paralyzing. Most adults quit not because learning is impossible, but because the discomfort of being a beginner feels unbearable. Here's the fix: reframe failure as feedback. When a toddler falls while learning to walk, no one says, "Maybe walking isn't for you." But as adults, one mistake and we label ourselves, "I'm just not good at this." Learning becomes easier the moment you allow yourself to look stupid again. 2. You've been trained to memorize, not understand. School conditioned us to cram, not to learn. You memorized enough to pass the test, then forgot it a week later. As an adult, you try the same method. Binge watch tutorials, highlight books, repeat facts in your head, but nothing sticks. Why? Because real learning happens when you engage, not when you consume. That means explaining concepts in your own words, practicing, not just reading, teaching someone else, even if you barely understand it yourself. That's why kids learn languages faster. They don't sit with grammar books. They use the language. They fail out loud until it clicks. If you're struggling as an adult, it's often not intelligence. It's a bad learning strategy carried over from school. 3. Time pressure and mental bandwidth. As a kid, learning was your full-time job. As an adult, you've got bills, responsibilities, deadlines, family, stress, and a phone buzzing 24/7. So when you sit down to learn, your brain isn't fresh. It's already drained from decision fatigue. This is why adults often say, "I just don't have time." But the truth is, it's not about time. It's about energy and focus. Here's what works. Learn in small, focused blocks. Protect that time like it's sacred. No phone, no distractions. Tie learning to your real life. If you're learning coding, build something tiny you'll actually use. When learning feels relevant and achievable, your brain prioritizes it. 4. You're addicted to being good. Here's the hard truth. Adults like doing things they're already good at. You'll play a sport you know, rewatch a show you understand, stay in a job where you feel competent. But learning? It forces you to be bad before you get good. And most people can't tolerate that gap. Kids don't care about that gap. They'll draw messy pictures, sing off-key, build terrible Lego towers. Adults? We want polished results on day one. The shift. Instead of obsessing over the outcome, focus on progress. Ask yourself, am I 1% better than yesterday? That's enough. Stack those micro wins and suddenly learning feels less painful. 5. You learn with a fixed mindset. Many adults secretly believe their brain is set. I'm just not good at math. I'll never understand tech. I'm too old to learn languages. But neuroscience disagrees. Your brain is plastic. It rewires itself based on what you practice. That's why a 40-year-old can pick up guitar, or a 60-year-old can learn coding. The problem isn't age, it's belief. If you walk into learning already convinced you'll fail, Your brain obeys that script. The reframe, swap "I can't" with "I haven't yet." Small change, massive difference. 6. You learn alone and quit alone. As a kid, learning was social. You played, competed, collaborated. As an adult, you sit in silence with a YouTube tutorial and wonder why you're bored out of your mind. Humans learn best in groups, accountability, feedback, encouragement. That's why study groups, mentorship, and communities accelerate growth. If you're struggling, don't just learn harder. Find people on the same journey. Accountability makes the difference between quitting and sticking. 7. You expect instant results. We live in a fast food culture. 2-day shipping, 15-second TikToks. Learn piano in 7 days. So when learning takes months, your brain loses patience. But mastery has always been slow. A baby takes a year to learn walking. Athletes spend a decade training. Writers draft dozens of books before they write a masterpiece. If you expect fast results, you'll quit fast. But if you accept the long game, you'll succeed. Remember, consistency beats intensity. 10 minutes a day for a year will take you further than 1 week of all-nighters. 8. The comparison trap. You're 30, trying to learn design, and you see a 19-year-old already crushing it. You feel late, behind, like it's pointless. But here's the thing. Your race is yours alone. That 19-year-old didn't have your responsibilities, your battles, your unique path. Comparison kills curiosity. Shift it. Instead of comparing, get inspired. Instead of "they're ahead," say "they're proof it's possible." Final truth. Learning as an adult is hard not because your brain is broken, but because your approach is. You fear looking stupid. You cling to old-school methods. You're drained, distracted, and impatient. You compare instead of commit. But here's the good news. You can fix all of that. Let yourself be a beginner again. Focus on progress, not perfection. Build systems, not excuses. And above all, don't quit just because it feels hard. Hard is where growth lives. Remember, being an adult doesn't mean learning is over. It means you finally get to choose what's worth learning, and this time, you're doing it for you.